Hi, I'm so glad to interview to a lovely McGill student who is studying urban systems. She is currently doing it, and I think that uh, you love travel. So I have some questions for you, and uh, I would like to know that what countries have you visited?
Yeah, so I've been to, well, the United States. I have family that lives in Boston. I've been to Florida. My grandmother used to have a place there. Um, I've also been to New York City many times because I love musicals. And I've also been to Europe where I've gone to London, England. I've been to Paris. I think where else I've been. I think when I was very young, I was taken by my parents to Austria. That was when I was much younger. And now I hope to travel again in the future once everything opens up.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Right now, traveling has become easier and cheaper. And so, what do you think that makes foreign travel easy nowadays as compared to the past?
Well, I think in the past it was more of a luxury. It was probably for more business. The planes were designed for more with more room space. Now it's all cramped up, and I guess it's all about like at this point, it's much easier and safer to fly, and they make the planes much more compact, so it can cost less because there's more people on the flights, going to more places. And like right now, because there's not as many people, they need more people on the flight, so they're kind of giving more deals. There's always discounts. There's like point systems that have been introduced. I know my parents use that a lot. So I think it's just the combination of just technology and advancements and just wanting to learn about more countries around the world as well.
Okay. I'm curious. Has traveling changed your way of living or thinking?
I would say absolutely. I think, you know, I've never had a culture shock or anything. Oh, I forgot to mention that actually, 3 years ago I went to Israel. And so I don't know why I forgot that, but um, I think it really made me aware of different people's cultures and how they act. And so when I'm back in Canada, I know why someone won't understand our culture and whatnot. And I love learning about other people's cultures as well. I think it made me more interested in trying new foods and appreciating more art and just appreciating life in general, and how we're very privileged to live in certain places and do certain things.
That's good. Um, what's the most important lesson that you have learned from travel?
I think it's all of I learned how to be more independent and how to rely, but also actually rely on the people around me and be more trusting in what other people can give me, if that makes sense. Like when I was traveling alone, I was able to discover more things, and it kind of made me more like be able to be by myself more and just not scared to do things just because others don't want to. But then in the other sense, then I get to meet more people. For example, like you, I would maybe meet you traveling and then just learn about other people living there and just get a more, less touristy, but more just how the locals live and everything like that. I think it's really interesting for me.
That's beautiful. Do you like to travel alone?
Yeah, I love traveling. I wish I could travel all the time. Sometimes it's hard because, my parents, I'm still kind of connected to them, so I feel like I have to tell them everything. But then once I travel, I feel amazing, and I realize it's not as hard as everyone makes it seem. Of course, you have to have the money and the resources, so I work for that. But I love going so many places. I love to learn about cultures and food and just see the world, because I feel like a lot of the times where we live, um, we think that's where we're meant to stay forever, and I think that's so false. Like, we're on this planet, right, to see everything. So even again, going to Mexico would be amazing, and just like seeing what everyone else's life's like, right?
Mm. I would like to um, that you someday can visit Mexico.
Yeah, hopefully one day, fingers crossed.
um, what do you think are the advantages of traveling for the society?
The advantages,
Yes.
I would say, I think just getting out of your comfort zone for people who are scared of flying, or just getting on a train, or just leaving where you are, because I think we're always really settled, I think, for like where we live. And I think also, again, like learning about other people's cultures, becoming more worldly, being more accepting of others once you see what their situation is. I think it's also a great bonding experience if you're going with friends or family. I, yeah, I just think there's just so many great things about it. Yeah.
And I have a interesting question. Um, as travel is accessible, how do you think this path may transform society?
Sorry, can you just repeat what you said?
Yes, as traveling is accessible, how do you think this fact may transform society?
Right. So I think that I think it just I think the advantages are that, there's more ways to travel for people who can't afford, let's say, flying, and sometimes maybe taking the longer route can actually be more of a learning experience, or more, you can see differences in traveling. And on along the way, let's say you're driving in a car, you can stop in different towns, and so there's even the journey towards your destination, I think, in general. um, I think just the many ways of traveling is so advantageous, because, again, it's not great to always put your resources into one thing. If we were all flying, it would be really bad for the environment, right? So I think it's nice to have that just ease for different types of people who need it.
Okay. And the last question, what can we expect as travelers in the future?
Yeah, I think flights will hopefully will change more, become more sustainable, and use like maybe more electrical. Right now we have cars that are becoming more electrical. I could even see flies being self-flying, but that's very, I don't know about that. That's a bit scary to think about, right? One day a plane flying itself, but I mean, they're already doing with cars. I definitely think that trains, there's like these fast rail trains. I think we're just going to become faster and more accessible, hopefully, as like technology advances. Yeah.
Yes, I hope that travel becomes more easier and cheaper than right now. And well, thank you so much for your time, and, and see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.